I'm Sarah from Sri Lanka, and I'll be speaking to you about some of the strategies that we use in Asia, with two of the organizations that I'm a part of, FIDA, the Young Feminist Fund, and Asia Safe Abortion Partnership. So, struggle for the advancement of women's rights and gender equality globally is impossible without strong women's organizations and movements to provide leadership. The change women want come from the movements that we build. Despite decades since CEDAW, ICPD, and MDGs, women and girls in Asia still face significant barriers to accessing safe abortion services. Along with this, access to comprehensive sexuality education, access to youth-friendly health services, safe and effective contraceptives, and lack of women's agency and autonomy can be seen as challenges and barriers. Sex selection is now being used as a new tool against safe abortion, and there's a lack of accountability of governments to their citizens and inadequate funding for public sector health services. So with Asia Safe Abortion Partnership, we promote, protect, and advance women's sexual and reproductive health and rights in Asia by reducing unsafe abortions and its complications, promoting access to comprehensive safe abortion services. Youth Champions is a new creative learning initiative between organizations and individuals to increase the availability of evidence-based and scientific information on safe abortion. We focus on increasing capacities of the networks and individuals to advocate and network for access to safe abortion as a human right. And we are working on increasing visibility of a rights-based approach to safe abortion at local, regional, and global levels. So we use 4 strategies to build our movement. First one is capacity building. So we've been conducting youth advocacy institutes consecutively for 4 years with young feminists all around Asia and Pacific as well, actually. These capacity building workshops include sessions on sexual reproductive health and rights, gender and its social construct, what it means to be pro-choice, ethics and handling consensus objection, values clarification, abortion laws and policies, tools for advocacy, and international financial systems on people's reproductive rights. So what's interesting is, after the trainings, Asia Safe Abortion Partnership provides these young people with fellowships with small grants to conduct projects in their home countries to advance women's access to safe abortion rights. If I give you some examples from Sri Lanka, we have conducted several studies, one with young undergraduates on their perceptions and attitudes towards abortion. And we have made databases on pharmacies that sell medical abortion pills. We have made databases of civil society organizations that are in favor of safe abortion rights. And we've done a lot of online campaigns and created videos with women's testimonies on how they experience unsafe abortion. The next strategy we use is evidence gathering. There's an urgent need for local evidence to be obtained and analyzed and used as a tool for advocacy. Surveys among stakeholders such as public health students, medical students, nursing students, as well as analyzing media reporting and preparing documentaries of women's stories of accessing unsafe abortion are some of the strategies we use. So ASAP supports different innovative pilot projects in countries. If I talk about the hotline interventions, we have hotlines running in Bangladesh, Indonesia, Pakistan, Thailand, India, Philippines, and Sri Lanka. The data from the hotlines is used as evidence for advocacy to highlight the unmet forms. We try to make a feminist internet movement online to better understand and use new media, like social media, to ensure women's access to accurate information and to ensure that the discourse on abortion issues in the social media is impacted by our pro-choice ideology. If you wonder what a feminist internet is, I can give you a definition. A feminist internet is one where everyone has universal, equal, and meaningful access to an open and transformative internet to enable the exercise of all our rights to play, to form communities, to organize for change in freedom and pleasure. So we use different social media campaigns, we use blogs, we use games, we use tweetathons and tweets and videos with different stories and activities as methods. The final strategy we use is networking. We are always finding ways to engage with relevant stakeholders at country, regional and global levels. And once a year we bring together young allies from other fields and young allies working on other sexual and reproductive health and rights issues, such as preventing child marriages, HIV, sex workers' rights, disability, peer education, and women and media, so that they would advocate for abortion as a mandate or an agenda with their work as well. Now if I move to FRIDA, the Young Feminist Fund, FRIDA supports young people from across the gender spectrum committed to advancing gender equality and women's rights. Based on the understanding that fundamental discrimination occurs within our societies, young feminists are determined to challenge, address and change the root causes of existing inequalities, rights violations and injustice. So FRIDA recognizes that there is limited funding opportunities for young women beyond the adolescent age, girl category. So on that basis, we seek to fill the gap experienced by young feminists aged 18 to 30. So our theory of change derives from the core belief that women's movements are strengthened when young feminist activists and their organizations are provided with the resources and the capacity to mobilize resources for their work. Supporting young feminists is key to expansion, rejuvenation, sustainability of women's movements and organizations. We choose to use a feminist approach when it comes to grant making, and we try to go beyond gender boundaries and the limitations associated with these. Some of the strategies we use are grant making, capacity building, resource mobilization, and knowledge development. On an ending note, moving forward, I believe that young feminists must be supported, recognized and provided with safe spaces for advocacy and activism, which allows them to meaningfully engage in discourses on rights, development and justice. For this, young people need sustained capacity building, mentoring and opportunities to represent their cause at relevant forums such as SDGs or post-2015 platforms without being token. It's not only the responsibility of young people to be keen to participate in these movements and dialogues, it's also the responsibility of other stakeholders to support them. International community, faith-based organizations, the UN, governments, civil society, corporate sector, media, and other activists should equip and support young people to strengthen their movements. We need to work towards a more holistic approach based on human rights, sexual and reproductive health and rights, gender equality, dignity, freedom of choice, and justice to build a stronger movement. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Gracias.